Dr. Owusu Ochoa is Dr. O for the 804 as the premier knee and hip shoulder sports surgeon in Virginia. I would like to remind you that health equals power. Sports build and uplift communities, nothing else can. The mission of sports medicine is to keep athletes of all ages and levels at the top of their game. Dr. O is located at Ortho, Virginia, Schrader Road office location. Appointments can be scheduled online at orthovirginia.com or by calling 804-939-6688. You can follow Dr. O on Instagram at Dr. O _ for the 804 and uplifting educational content about sports health.
Hi everyone, I'm Coach Rick Stockel. I am co-owner of Newman & Dunn Real Estate here in Central Virginia, as well as I am a high school boys basketball coach at Monacan High School. I've sold over 1,300 homes here in Central Virginia, and I would love to work with you and your family in your home buying needs. I am a proud primary sponsor of Ballin in Virginia, and I hope you enjoy this show.
Welcome to another episode of BallinVA. Today, man, I'm 2 for 2. I got 757 in the house. Man, I got some royalty in here. My man, Coach Rick Hite, came all the way from Suffolk, man. He's the head coach at Kings Fork High School, man. Appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate us getting us in here, man. We've been trying to get this thing since what? October?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yes, well, it's actually, this is last season.
Last year.
No, man. It was good seeing you at the Boo, at the EYBL, man, and your daughter out there playing. I just didn't even realize that. And I saw you, I'm like, damn, I said, and I'm glad that we was able to connect and make this thing happen.
No doubt.
So what's been going on, Coach?
Man, just grinding, trying to get ready for another year. I always break down the season and a preseason, a season, then the after season. So we're kind of in the after season now. And, and I'm being a dad. Get a chance to go, like you said, get to see my daughter play, sit in the stands. I was way up in the stands.
Yeah, you way up
in the stands. But I'm extremely proud of her. So to get a chance to watch her and support her is important to me.
Yeah, well, actually, she playing on one of the best, Boo teams, the EYBL 16 Nike team. And I got to actually set up something with Coach Webb from Mitchellville. So he going to be coming in soon. Shout out to Coach Webb.
No doubt.
And them girls went 4-1. That was a good game they played against.
Southfield.
Yeah, we know what they
really
were.
Really good.
Yeah, they were good. But yeah, man, what did it all start with you, man? Let's start with you, and then we'll kind of transition back into your kids.
Yeah.
What did it all start with you, man?
So I'm from Philly. So I'm a Philly guy. I played all 3 sports. I was, between North Philly, Uptown, and Somerville. So, that's me. I went to George Washington High School, same high school as Kevin Hart. People, he's quick to say he went to George Washington. But football was like my thing. Like I coach aggressively. I was an aggressive kid. It was one of the best things for me to have an outlet. Just like a lot of kids, you grow up with a single parent, right? My dad was around but wasn't around. So that I put all my stock into sports. It was that or be into the streets. He was into the streets, so I'm named after him. So it was something that it was real close by.
Okay.
So sports and coaches kind of like was everything to me. They were like, yo, you got something. So for me, I just dove into sports. Football just clicked for me. And I all the way through to high school, I played all 3 sports. Football was the one where I was getting the most recruitment. Was going to go to Maryland to play football, but it was just something about basketball that got me in the end. I'm like, man, listen, do I want to lift weights the rest of my life? And the answer was no. So basketball was the love. I was athletic. I was probably long, lanky guy. And I'm like, man, I could play basketball.
Okay.
Scored 1,000 points in high school. So it wasn't like I was, not being recruited for basketball. Just football was just taking off. Got the opportunity to go out to California for school. Went to Riverside. From Riverside, went to San Jose for basketball and started making money immediately in basketball. And so people always ask, like, how you get to Virginia?
Right.
Well, going to California, my wife I met in California.
Okay.
She ended up coming to Virginia to take care of her folks. And so we stayed in touch over the years and like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to move to Virginia. Once I moved, it kind of triggered a whole another atmosphere for me, and that's where coaching kind of came involved. And like, you know, we'll touch on a bunch of it, but it was being at Fort Lee working out, and some of the guys there were like, "Hey, you know, you need to think about getting into training," because I was helping their kids. I'm like, "Man, listen, I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to help kids." But they're hiring at Richmond Collegiate. I thought it was a college. I didn't even know.
Right.
I didn't know where it was or what it was. But they're hiring, and a couple of days later, I just let me look into this. And as fate would have it, ended up getting a job, multiple jobs at Collegiate, and then, you know, here I am in Virginia. And we'll talk about Collegiate, I'm sure, but that's kind of like in a nutshell of how I got from Philly to Cali to here.
Wow, and that's crazy. Of all jobs, when I did some research before, I remember seeing, I said, I remember him being at Collegiate for a little while.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, because my son played at Trinity.
Yeah.
So I was just like, wow, because a lot of people don't know too much about the private school side. But I want to say you started at Petersburg, correctly?
No, I started at
You started Collegiate first, then you went to Petersburg.
No, for sure.
Go into that.
So shout out to Alex Peavy, Charlie McFall, Karen Doxey. They brought me over to Collegiate. And I coached all three sports. So I won state championships with football. I was on the basketball and coached baseball. So that's where me and Russell Wilson built the relationship. He was an 8th grader when I got there. And we immediately became super close, still close to this day. But, you know, so it was Alex Peavy who taught me a lot about the nuances of basketball and coaching. Again, I wasn't no coach. I just played. Everything I did was from a player perspective. He kind of showed me how to come at it from a coach's perspective. And I was there for 6 years. And I actually was going to be at Petersburg for football. So it's crazy as it sounds. Again, Mike Scott, one of my guys, Mike Scott says, "Listen, I need your help with the football team." As that was lining up, Lawson had already moved on. They was looking for a coach. I hollered at Terrell White. This again, the nuances is crazy.
Shout out to Coach
Shout
White.
out to Todd, because Todd was trying to get one of my collegiate players, and Jake McGee. And so we built that relationship, and we would play in the adult leagues in Petersburg, because I was living in Petersburg at the time I was traveling to collegiate. So long story long, you know, I was like, Todd, why are you not going for the job? Because to me it was like he's the
ideal fit,
natural progression, right?
Right.
So he was just starting at John Marshall. I think he was at John Marshall for a year at the time.
Okay.
So I'm like, why didn't you take the Petersburg job, or why wouldn't you go back and take it? And, you know, he was like, I'm trying to get this Richmond thing off the ground, get this John Marshall thing off the ground, right? And so at the time, I didn't even realize how much history John Marshall had, right, and what he was walking into, because both had their own history.
Both of them had the same history.
Same history.
Right.
So, you know, they had already closed the process of hiring at Petersburg. And Mike Scott's dad and a couple others fought for me to get an interview. And I said, listen, if I get the interview, I'm going to get the job. No disrespect to who else, you know, applied or whatever, but if I got the interview, I knew I was going to get the job. And as fate would have it, I ended up getting the job. But I spent 6 great years as an assistant at Richmond Collegiate, and Petersburg was my first head coaching job.
Well, and I remember, and everybody know the tradition that's at Petersburg.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know, they got some greats there. And then you're trying to come behind. How did you feel trying to come behind Coach Lawson?
No, so I was going to be me. You know, I was trying to tell people, like, again, I respect all the things that he did. I respect that he did some incredible things. I watched him. Like, again, I was living in Petersburg at the time. Big shoes between him and his dad.
That's right.
So, you know, but I said I can only be me. I could only be me. I was going to do it my way. I remember the resistance people had, because I'm like, I don't care if you're 6'11" or 5'11". If you a dog, you a dog.
That's right.
So that was my mentality, and I was going to bring my mentality to Petersburg. And I think over time, you know, fairly quickly, you know, people realize, hey, listen, man, he with the smoke, and I am with the smoke. So that fit what Petersburg was. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Man, you know, it's crazy, because when I said, this guy's been all over the place, man. And, like, you had some ties. Like, when I had talked to Kennard, shout out to Kennard,
Yeah,
man.
shout
That's
out.
your bro, man.
Shout out Big Nard.
You know, I guess the collegiate Petersburg thing, I'm like, wow,
Where?
like nobody would ever like.
So let me tell you this.
You go from a private school to a predominantly black basketball school.
Yeah, so that's great. So I'm glad we're talking about this because I again,
I want to stay on that.
No, you have to because it's a lot of parallels to this.
Okay.
So what my mindset was going into, if I can get Petersburg kids to play like private school kids, we're gonna have something.
Right.
And people's like, well, what that mean? I'm like, no, we're gonna be disciplined. We're gonna run actions. We're gonna share the basketball. We're gonna play defense. We're gonna take charges. We do all the things that private school you playing against private school kids.
Petersburg is a tough city.
So
that's like Philly.
No, it's just like it. That's
Right.
why I'm so good there. That's why I'm comfortable there. That's why
Perfect match.
easy match. Love the bird. Love the bird. Just like I love being in Richmond, right? Like I go put my wife work in Gilpin, right? So I'm like it's like going home. It's just
Same thing.
Same thing. My kids went to the daycare in Gilpin. So I'm like, they spend a lot of time in Philly. But just back to that Petersburg collegiate thing, I'm like, listen, if I could get these athletic, talented kids to buy in to what I had happening at collegiate, it's gonna be amazing. And they did. They bought Frank bought in. Frank did the same things that Russ did or Jake McGee did.
Right.
But he did it in his Frank way.
Right.
Let you be Frank.
Frank gonna be Frank.
Frank gonna be Frank. But he was able to share it, hey, we don't need to take 35-foot jumpers the whole time.
Right.
We're gonna move the basketball, we're gonna move people, and then you're gonna get a better shot and the more efficient shot. And
Right.
that's been my trademark at every stop. I'm gonna get the kids I coach to kind of look like private school kids, and not knocking private schools. They just play a different brand of basketball.
Different brand of basketball.
Different brand of basketball. That's what it is. Good brand. So I'm like, I'm gonna get these athletic kids that sometimes don't put an emphasis on the details and sharing the basketball. And that's what we did. And we went 29-2, I think. 29-2 that year. Yeah, 29-2 that year. The first year. It was 11-12.
Yep, 11-12.
11-12. I got Frank as
That
a
was
senior.
Frank.
Yeah, senior year. Yep.
Yeah, but I remember that because was that, I'm trying to remember, Frank was by himself or was Hoosier there?
Hoosier was there. He was there.
Hoosier was there.
So listen, the
Marcus Hoosier.
Marcus G. Hoosier, one of my favorites. Both of them one of my favorites. When I get the job, you can see this on online.
1511.
Yeah,
we used to call them.
That's what they was with it. But I knew I had, but we had other little parts. But those were the two that Ed Maxwell. People forget about Ed Maxwell. So
Right,
and that's
right.
we'll get to that too because that's a whole nother story. So Ed was the third. He ended up being ineligible that year, which changed the course of events that we got to talk about because this is historic stuff. Right?
Go ahead and say it. We can talk about it.
Yeah. So before we had the press conference, they introduced me as the coach. Some people in Petersburg already knew me because I was around, like obviously the football people because of Mike Scott. But I remember after the interview, I said, I got to talk to Frank. Right, because everybody in my ear, man, this Frank gonna do this. You got. Now I'm prepared for it to go wherever it's gonna go with this conversation. Like I'm really prepared for it because again, I knew of Frank. We didn't get to know each other yet. We're in the library. I said, listen, Frank, I'm here to coach you up on the court and off the court. He looks right at me and says, I'm ready, man. That's what he said. I'm ready.
Yeah, Frank, few words.
Few words.
Yep.
And he did everything I required of him to do that year. Everything. One of the toughest kids, mentally, physically.
That's a tough motherfucker.
But one of the most loyal kids you could ever be around. Love Frank Leo Mason to death.
He's been a regular name that's been on this podcast many times.
A real one too. A real one. But again, I think you get validated by like I didn't coach Kevin Green, Duke and them. I didn't coach them. They was before them or Duvey or Dot. Dot and all them. But
all those great teams.
But they again, they respect me. They respected how I went around. So they was always around because again, it wasn't my program. It's their program.
Right. And if they ain't like you, they ain't letting you in.
They ain't gonna let you in.
Nope.
That's one thing about the Bird. They're not gonna
mess with you.
and
They rock with you.
let
They love you.
Yeah, for sure. So and it was reciprocated. You know, so real was recognizing real. But yeah, so that first year, you know, I think I was the tallest guy on the team, right? Like I'm looking in the locker room, and the assistant coaches who was there with Lawson and them, they like, yo, man, like we had the kid Quadri, shout out to Quadri, like he was hurt. He was the tallest kid, but he was hurt, broke his arm in football, so he never played. That year we're rolling. I think we were like 16-0. Then we lose to Theo Pinkston and them down at Heritage. We played at a showcase down at Heritage.
Yeah.
So we lose to them, right? And the night before though, we play Hopewell. Hoosier rolls his ankle. G was one of the most. If Frank wasn't on the same team, G may be considered a Frank type of thing.
He could
go. He could play both ends of the court too. So he rolls his ankle in Hopewell the night before. We get down to play the I think North Carolina Wesleyan, whatever the team they were, Wesleyan Academy, whatever. But it was Theo Pinkston in them. They was loaded. And G shows me his ankle. His ankle was like the size of a softball. I'm like, I'm not playing you, man. He says, Coach, I need to play because it's a big game and I want to be recruited.
Theo Pinkston was going to North Carolina.
Went to North Carolina.
And now Richmond. Brooklyn Nets now.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I'm not going to play you in this game. And you know, he like, Coach, I want to play. And he came to me and he's like, man, really emotional about it. And I'm like, all right, I'll let you go out there. But I really shouldn't have played him in that game because he wasn't himself. But they ended up playing it, and they might have still won the game if everybody was healthy. But Frank took a fall. He took a fall in that game, hit his back. I'm like, yo, and he stayed down there for a minute, which again, he stayed down, you know.
Then you know he got to be hurt.
He got to be hurt. So, you know, we ended up losing, I think, 4 or 5 or whatever. Then we had another long run until Hampton beat us in the championship game. But here's some fate to this. My first ever Petersburg game, first ever game coaching Petersburg, was at 351 Kings Fork Road against Kings Fork.
Are you serious?
First game. My first varsity game was me coaching at Kings Fork.
Damn.
Yeah. Then we won, but I remember it was the one game that Petersburg fans didn't travel to as well.
Which is crazy because Petersburg fans
travel everywhere,
and Kings Fork is pretty much like a mirror image of Petersburg.
So it's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
So and I remember thinking while the game was, I said, man, Petersburg didn't come like that.
And then it's crazy because they owed you from the loss that in the state championship with the semifinal.
Yeah.
But was it a state championship game that Kings Fork beat Petersburg?
Yeah, semis.
The semis, right.
So I in my thought process was, man, they think we're gonna lose. New coach, they don't think we're gonna win.
Right.
So I remember saying, like, yo, we're not leaving this gym without a win. And it was a good game. They had Zach Johnson, like big. Zach was a monster. And he was bigger than, he was killing us. Right, we get to about 4 minutes left in the game. It's a close game. It's a timeout. I've been down, and I'm about to say to Frank, like, "Yo, I need you to guard this big." Frank just looks at me before I could say it and was like, "I got him." I was like, "All right, wave on 3, 1, 2, 3." I turned to the coaches. We good. We not losing. He done made the commitment. He's going to take Zach Johnson. He was waiting for him when Zach was coming down, met him at the free throw line, and I think I don't know if Zach scored the rest of that game, wow. Right? And I could be wrong, but Frank willed us in that gym and in that game, and really all year long. But it was a magical run, even the other couple years there, you know.
Yeah, Frank is one of them guys, man. Like I said, you came in. Like, I think after that year, I don't think, like, Petersburg wasn't the same.
No, they wasn't. And so,
because,
he wasn't. Go ahead.
Because after all those years that they lost the championships, they got the semis, we know, like I said, I was just telling Priv, I said, 757 always didn't have the best talent. It came down to coaching.
No, for sure.
You take Duvey in that state championship game, they lost to Norcom.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go out that game when he got busted his nose,
Got the nose.
that 3 minutes was critical because they were up.
Yeah, critical.
He plays.
No, for sure.
Kings Fork, not Kings Fork, Norcom don't win. That was with Dorian Finney-Smith.
No. Listen, it was one of the best championship games.
And they won at the buzzer.
At the buzzer.
And I don't think Pittsburgh been right since.
I think that was the kid only bucket.
In that game.
Yeah. Well, I think people talk about that all the time.
I was there.
It was a lot of a lot of talent. Obviously, was on the court that day too. When
so
you look
much
back,
talent.
But I think one of the things that happened was they always say it ain't the first shot that beats you, it's the second. So once Norcom got that first shot up, they still kept coming. But Petersburg stayed, stayed in the front court, and didn't get back and get the rebound. Because you get one rebound, it's
because Big Boy was tired, man.
No, Tootie
was tired.
Yeah, and he, man, again, think about it. We talking about Tootie, NFL player.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, no, it's like that was when you look back on it, a lot of them dudes made professional money.
Yeah, all those guys. There was a lot of professional guys.
A lot of professional.
Tootie.
Yeah.
Duvitt played overseas. Frank.
Yeah.
Doe.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And who would have thought?
No, who would have thought?
Who would have thought that night? But
you're right. It's been like that dark cloud over them, and that's and again it's just and they deal with a lot of toughness all the time anyway. So but basketball has always been that thing for the Berg for sure.
Yeah, man, and I just felt like when I think about Petersburg, I feel as though with college football, if it ain't Miami, Florida State. Mm-hmm. Those teams ain't good. Same thing with NBA. The Knicks ain't good.
It ain't something wrong.
Then the NBA, it's something wrong with the Knicks now.
For sure.
Petersburg, same thing.
For sure.
We got to keep Petersburg going.
Got to keep them relevant. Got to keep them relevant. They do a lot for the state. Do a lot for the state, for sure.
Yeah, but when you mentioned going back to that game, that Frank and Cat Barber game.
Yeah, no.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no. It was,
tell us about that.
No, so again, Shout out to Hampton, right? Brown has become one of my good coaching friends.
Man, I met him recently. Great guy.
Great guy. Plus, we share a like for the Raiders. Again, being a Philly guy, but we both Raider fans.
Yeah, how in the world you get that?
No, man.
Okay, before we go into this, who's the worst, the Philly fans or the Raider fans?
No, so Philly fans.
Okay.
Philly fans threw batteries at Santa Claus, man.
That is true.
Yeah, they had the daggone prison inside the vet. The Philly fans. Raider fans are over the top. Raider fans definitely over the top.
Yeah, Raider fan is different.
Yeah, but Philly fans the whole you
don't want to go to the Philly game as an opposing team.
Oh no, listen, no, and again, my got family members that's all Philly. They Philly everything. I don't know what happened to me. But I like the Raiders. I like the Lakers, and I like the Yankees.
I'm that hard Lakers fan.
Yeah, so I'm sick today too because of what's going on there. But Philly fans, you're right. They gonna start something. But again, Raider fans, I don't know, man, because when I went to San Jose State, I used to go to the Raider games
in California.
Yeah, man, I seen people on the trains at BART. I seen them get active on opposing fans on the BART train every time, real active. Maybe a watch.
I know when you out in California, because I was in California my 8th grade year for the whole summer, and because my uncle lived in Victorville.
I know Victorville.
Yeah, the desert. The desert.
Yeah.
And my cousins because my uncle was based in Langley.
Okay.
And then he ended up getting transferred in '84 out to Victorville. Until he died last year.
Okay.
But and I was out there the whole summer.
Yeah, Victorville, Barstow.
Yeah. San Bernardino.
So my aunt is in Moreno Valley, so Like she used to live in Paris. Now she live in Marina Valley. So you know what I mean. That's how I got to Riverside. From
And
Riverside
that's all you hear about, man. Barstow. You come hear about Barstow, this, and the third. I was like, Victorville, was like the suck.
So no, that's crazy. Cali, I love Cali though.
Me too, man. I love Cali. It was like the most people were so cool.
No, Cali is Cali, man.
Yeah,
you got to be out there to understand.
You definitely
got to be out there to understand.
And I was out there from June till like September.
Yeah. No, I man, listen. I got a lot of love for Cali. I may end up at Cali back in Cali.
Hey, man.
So
no, but go ahead. But let's go back to that
Pittsburgh. So you know we kind of I'm appreciating this podcast, right?
It's therapy.
Yeah, no, it really is because it's and everybody. I'm a radio, TV, and film major, so this is fun to me.
Okay,
right? So this is fun.
Go rock this.
Yeah, so we had seen Hampton earlier in the year.
Okay,
they had took some slugs earlier in the year. I think they had already had like 4 losses, but when I saw them in person, I'm like, that's who we're gonna be playing for the state championship. And everybody's like, well, why? It's like, first, they look like us. Right, their team is constructed the same way we are. This is like a month before the actual game. I'm like, they're constructed exactly the way we're constructed.
Yep.
All the way down to the shoes are all the same, the socks are all the same, and the way the continuity of the coaches was all the same. I knew. And so when we get to the actual game, I'm like, I told y'all. And so I was preparing for them, and I knew how they were going to play Frank. I knew what the little defenses that they was going to run. My concern wasn't going to be Frank. My concern was going to be the others, right? Like will the stage, will the moment, will the history of Petersburg get to them, right? And so, this is a real story I'm about to give you, right?
Yeah, that's why I ain't saying nothing because I know I was at the game.
Yeah. So I pull up. First of all, it was a lot of uncomfortable shit that happened that week, right? One, being a pep rally before the actual games. Like, that was like, no, like, we ain't had no pep rallies all year long. We don't need one now.
Right.
Okay, that may be something little to others. To me, I'm like, nah, but like, nah, let's keep it blue collar. That's what we are. We're not gonna get Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. But during the pep rally, I seen them dancing and whatever. And again, I get it. That's the school support. I feel it, but I knew like, man, we don't need it right now, right? We pull up to the school about to leave, and when I pull up, I could see how the guys were like, and it was like people talking to the players. I'm like, man, what could they be talking about? Cool. This story I've only shared with a few people that I'm about to tell you right now.
Do tell.
So we had just beat Henrico, right? No. We had just beat Kickingham.
Right.
But we were going.
Hampton played Henrico.
We were going back. We played in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
We were going Pizza Hut, then go back to watch the Henrico Hampton game. Already, I love Vance. I love that Marvin Smith Jr. is one of my.
He talked about that Kickingham game too.
Yeah, and they like Marv. I didn't.
Shout out to Marv.
Shout out to Marv
because he's been on here too, man.
And Marv, no, he'll probably call me right after this. Right, we still talk. That little team again. We'll get to how my relationships with other players kind of develop. But shout out to Marv. But I knew Hampton was going to win against Vance and them. Right, like, I knew that. Like, I'm like at Pizza Hut. I'm like I'm telling y'all who we gonna buy. I told y'all a month ago that it's gonna be Hampton. Right. My phone ring. I'm at Pizza Hut. Don't know the number. I don't answer. My phone ring again from a number. I'm like, man, let me answer it. Right. Everybody probably hyped that we're going to the finals or whatever. Answer this is true story. They're like, yo, what's up, coach? I'm like, yo, what's up? Who this? They're like, listen, don't worry about that. They was like, it's gonna be hard for y'all to win the championship. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, whoever we play is gonna be a tough game. They're like, I'm not too sure that everybody wants y'all to win. So I'm like, man, look, is you gonna get? I'm talking. Are you going to tell me what you on or not? Is it going to be hard for y'all to get the championship? Cool, hang up. Turn to my man. I'm like, yo, let's get a call. Like, I don't know what he's alluding to. I'm like, maybe it's our own issues or whatever. But nonetheless, and I'm gonna come back to the story after we get to the actual game. So I'm like, again, I don't know if it's the player you're talking about, the coaching, the officials, the arena, like what? I'm not sure. So we go back. Obviously, Hampton won the game. I told everybody that Hampton was going to be Henrico. And in Henrico, we had played them for the region championship. Henrico, people thought it was going to be a rematch. I'm like, nah.
No, and then Henrico didn't play that big.
Trouble.
And they had a lot of bigs.
No.
B5 them was on that team.
Yeah, physical too.
Yeah.
Physical. Right? That Henrico game was one of our hardest games that year too, though. But I just knew Hampton was going to do what Hampton do, right, to make you play an ugly game. It's like they going like, and if I have any regret, I'm like, man, we should have even got it faster, because the slower the game for Hampton at that time, the better. They only went fast when Cat had it.
Yep.
Like, yo, Cat gonna be the Cat.
Cat, do Cat.
And obviously Cat, right? Again, like,
shout out to Cat Barber, man.
Shout out to Cat Barber for sure. But getting into the game, when we got to the game, I had this weird feeling like even the coach, like everybody was different. Mm-hmm. Warm up, but Frank, I was gonna put Frank on Cat Barber. I mean, I'm like, yo, but we're gonna lose. It's gonna be our best against their best.
That's right.
Right? But they started the game, Cat wasn't guarding Frank. Cat wasn't guarding Frank, right? So I'm like, cool, because in my mind, I was like, I was going to save Frank, go back to that Kings Ford game, like save him to when I really need to stop. If he get going early, then I'm going to stop him early. But I'm like, I got Hoosier. Like, Hoosier is no chop meat, right? Hoosier got the length, right? Got the quickness. And Hoosier did a fairly decent job on him early, but Cat Barber is Cat Barber. He's going to get to where he needs to get to. But Frank gets 2 fouls early.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, he's not even guarding Cat, and he has 2 fouls early. So now I can't go to Frank when Cat starts getting going.
Right.
And Hoosier could not make a shot. Like Hoosier
was
awful
that game.
Awful.
It was the worst game he played.
No, 100%. Even
I was killing him.
No, he was awful. He'll be the first to tell you that. Shots that I've seen him make a bunch of times did not make. And then like we had Ahmad Miller, like who was an undersized big for us. He didn't have the game. You know, nobody else had the game. So Frank had to go into like survival mode just to keep us close. And that's where the game was getting away from. I was like, man, I can't get, because Frank going Cat, they're going to get the third. We cannot live with Frank sitting. So we actually went some zone in that game when we predominantly wasn't a zone team. But
right.
So during the game, I remember looking in the stands and I see Ed Maxwell in the stands. Not only him, but Ahmad Nunu Pair, the quarterback, that ended up being ineligible. And that whole ineligible thing was bullshit. It was bullshit. Bullshit. Sorry for my language, but
no, you good here, bro.
So yeah. And then Quadri, which would have been eligible at the time, all 3 of them became ineligible. Mm-hmm. So I had to play the last 13 games without those 3. And Maxwell was a starter. Nunu Perry was the 6th man, and Quadri would have ended up being in the top 7 or 8. Mm-hmm. Nonetheless, I look up in the stands and I see Edmund Maxwell. It's crazy. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know I knew he was at the game. We locked eyes, and I could see his face, like sadness all on his face, and I'm like,
yeah, that's your dirty work.
He would have been the one. He would have been the one. Now long, athletic. He was the Russell Westbrook type. For that group, and but shout out to Javon Arrington who stepped up as a sophomore at the time and had to play. You know what I mean? Like he did what he was capable of doing, but they their Jamonte Jackson ended up having like double figures, like guys that the stars canceled each other out. The role players, their role players, and their coaching essentially got them the championship.
I think Hoosier was the big letdown.
He was the letdown. He was the letdown. And I love G, and G my dude to the end. But
shout out to Hoosier, man. But I was very disappointed.
No, and again, like and but again, the game plan was exactly what the game plan was. Like, hey, somebody else is going to have to beat us. And ours was the same. Like, I think Cat played a great game, but he didn't necessarily, in my eyes, beat us. He made some big plays. He made some big plays to sustain or to not allow us to get over the hump. And then every time we tried to get over the hump, the whistle didn't go our way. I felt like, but again, a lot of that is what you make of it. And I think it was one that they took it. They went in there. They were the underdogs playing in Richmond. They took the game. It was everybody in Petersburg was at the game, and packed. But that's Frank. It was a perfect storm. Frank being who Frank is, Petersburg being what Petersburg is, and it was. And he was Mr. Siegel Center anyway. So he was Mr. Siegel Center.
I remember when we were walking up steps, and y'all was coming in, and these guys said, "Hey Frank, how much you think you gonna score today?" He said about 30.
About 30.
And he just said it with a straight face and just walked off like it was
everything. Listen, everything he was with a straight face. I didn't see him smile till after the season. I'm taking him to me, my wife, and kids. We're taking him to an All-Star game in D.C. Mm-hmm. And my daughter, it's crazy. My daughter was a baby. She was in a baby seat, like a car seat, booster seat or something. And he's just playing like the Game Boy, and Frank was in the back seat. He's like, let me play your Game Boy. She thought Frank was like a god or something. It's just and he playing, and she's laughing and he laughing at her. They laughing. I'm looking at my wife, and we're looking at me. I'm like, man, he smiles.
Yeah,
he smiles.
I would think he's just so serious.
But a real one, like a real one. And again, love Frank Leo Mason.
Frank, we would love for you to come on the BallinVA. So many people say they're gonna make it happen.
Come on, Leo.
We didn't had Doovie. Yeah. We didn't had Coach Hite here. Yeah. Ty White, we've been waiting to get him to come in, but Ty don't do interviews. But we've been trying to get them Petersburg guys to come in here, man, and they show love to me. So shout out to them.
Nah, shout out for sure.
No, man, but
it was a good game, two good teams. You know what I mean, and it didn't go our way. Yeah.
So after that, what happened after that?
Yeah. So then just it was. We still scheduled tough opponents. That's one thing about my teams. We're gonna play tough opponents. Like that thing. I think we end up being like 16-8 the next year, or then 17-7 and 8, whatever it was. But it was like we kept losing tough games. We didn't have no Franks, right? We didn't have no Hoosiers, right? But we had a great system. We had kids that play hard. We played super hard. We just, we weren't going to get over the hump. And then, we get upset one year by, I think, then Woody, then Hopewell, the next. It was just but I think all the hassles and the struggles that Petersburg has as a whole will catch up to you. Mm-hmm. And I felt myself, fighting battles that wasn't basketball.
Yep.
I'm fighting these battles that I shouldn't have to be fighting, and it's not basketball. Mm. And so it was just it was time. And again, it was so hard because I love the Berg. Again, my assistant coach right now is Jamonte Jackson that played for me at Petersburg. Wow. Right. So that's a win for me. I watched where he lived, where he come from, and now he's in college, got a college degree, working in the school system, my JV coach and my assistant varsity coach. So I'm like, man, a lot came out of that, but I just it was time. And I'm and people try to get me to go to college. Every year, people try to get me to go to college. I got friends that's in the pros. I got a lot of pro connections. A lot of
yes, you do.
And so I tell people all the time, me coaching high school is I just want to. I don't need to. I just want to, and I think it really boils down to the impact that I think I have on kids, not just mine. This is where the Mars Smiths and them come in at. Like, not just the kids that I coach at the high school level, but all of them. Like, yo, come, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to go about it. It can happen for you if you go this way. So wins and losses, yes, is what it is. But I think in the grand scheme of winning, where it matters the most, I think I'm.
And that's the thing, man. You're so humble. And ever since I mentioned everything, you just so humble and so cool. Even after a loss, still humble. And like you said, you have all these pro connections. And I'm just like, like when I found out that Russell Wilson was in your wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was like,
he was my guy.
That's
family,
so
family.
That lets you know that's your family. Like you're Russell Wilson.
Family.
Being somebody's wedding, like y'all have that relationship.
Yeah, no.
Frank Mason. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of other guys.
It is. Yeah. No, I mean, we could go down a little. Jake McGee, people forget.
And Jake McGee was all Metro here in Richmond.
Jake McGee.
All Metro, all state player.
Shout out to Jake. Jake was, man.
Shout out to Big Jake, man.
Shout out to Jake. What was with it. Like Jake was with it. Like, and again, the counseling behind the scenes. But I mean, we could go like guys.
Give us a list. Don't tell us.
So, and again, I humbly say this, right? But I know God maneuvers people for reasons, right? And so Reggie Williams will get on here and tell you.
Oh my God, I ain't
Reg,
even get to Reg.
So Reg will tell you, like, we meet just on working out stuff and been close ever since, right? So like players like that. I mean, Jaden Epps is going.
He the next one.
He next, right? But so it's the connection, and it's guys that may not make it. Like we talk about DeMonte Jackson, he may not be a professional, but he's winning, right? He's winning in life, and I'm like, man, God again had him come into my life. I'm like, I'm gonna be there for him forever. Mm-hmm. And same thing with any of them. Like, and again, whether you play for me or not, if it's about the Byerson brothers, right? I'm super close to them.
I want to do that.
Super close to them. Again, you won't see me doing a lot of social media posts. I don't even run our basketball page, right? So my wife runs that page, right? Now there's every so often I have to say what I need to say to get across to people or whatever, but like I've never got a kid into college. That's not what I'm saying. What I do is I give you the kind of what you need. You ultimately get yourself into college by how hard you work, by how much discipline you have, how much time you put into it, right? I'm not going to be like, I got this kid in college, whether they go into college or pros or whatever. I know how hard it is to make it, right? So, but what I'm going to do is give you the truth, and I'm going to give you the truth. Now, parents is a different thing. A lot of parents are in the way of the kids' success. And I'm telling you this so y'all can hear me. Like, get out of the way. You're supposed to parent. I'm not saying don't parent. But stay in your lane. There's certain lanes, and sometimes we cross the lines as parents that we don't allow the kids to get their full potential. But that's what I'm here for. Like, just to give that. I want to win. Trust me, I'm as competitive as anybody. And people that have been around me they'll tell you that.
Oh, man, you're competitive as hell, man.
Yeah, it cost me this year.
Man, talk about that.
Yeah.
Why we got you, why we on that. Let's stay on that. What happened? Because me and Brielle was talking about that. And I was like, I said, well, I don't know what happened, but I heard about it. So give us your take on that.
So it's the truth of it. It's what it is. The story has never changed. We're playing a rival, playing Lakeland High School. We had just played them probably a week or 10 days earlier. Blew them out, right? Shout out to Lakeland. It's nothing against Lakeland, right? But we had the better team. It's a lot of them. It's always emotions when Suffolk plays Suffolk. So
you ain't lying.
It's always emotion. We're over at Lakeland in this emotional game. Closer than it needs to be for the first half, right? Closer than it needs to be. We come out in the third. We establish who we are. I would say to the referee, the head referee, listen, the game could get chippy because it's Suffolk versus Suffolk, and it's an underlying situation here. I'm just letting you know. The head referee gives me the thumb up, like, I got you, coach. Bet we good, because I can see it. I've been doing it too long not to know, right? It's a 50-50 ball. About 3 minutes after that conversation, it's 50-50 ball. One of my players go up, one of their players go for the ball. Total, not on purpose. but he undercuts my kid. My kids go down. I hear, the ball, no whistle is blown. Whistle should have been blown. I'm still standing on it. Whistle should have been blown. The ball rolls, still live, towards our sideline. No whistle blown. Their kid down, our kid down. My kid is writhing in pain. So I'm like walking down. I'm like, the ref is on the baseline. I say to him, blow the effing whistle. I said, should have blown the effing whistle. The ball goes out of bounds. He go, boop. So to this day, I don't even know who he called the next foul on. So let me tell you this. So as the ball rolling, Kings 4 kids play hard. They're going after it. 2 of my kids go after it. A Lakeland kid go after it. They end up colliding. My 2 kids collide head to head. They go down. 1, 2, 3 Kings 4 kids down. The ball goes to the bounds. Everyone knows you can look at any film that I'm ever coaching. If the ball comes near me, everyone is instructed, let me get the basketball. It's just my thing.
Okay.
Everywhere, AAU, whatever, I'm going to get the basketball. I get the basketball. He's right there. He said, blow the whistle. He's like, well, it's kind of his fault. Like, the fuck you mean? Boop, boop. Double tech. So I smacked the ball. Now everything is. I'm double teched in 1.2 seconds. I'm
gone just like that.
I'm gone. So now I'm like, man, I ain't never been thrown out like this. I never been thrown out of VHS game. I think I've been thrown out of like a fall league game because I wanted to be thrown out of the game. Right. But this one, like, I was really like, so my players are down. I'm like, I got the basketball. The head referee comes up to me and was like, man, come on, coach. Like, he got to me too late. Coach, the official goes to the table. I take the basketball. I throw it to where, I'm not giving it to this official. I throw it over to where our admin and everything is, but not really at them. I'm just kind of like throwing the ball away. I'm mad. Like, I don't know how long I got before I got to get off the court or whatever. So I see Lakeland there, and I'm like, yo, my bad. Like, this ain't even about y'all, right? So I leave. I get thrown out, right? My team go in and win, again, easily. And I'm thinking, it's a couple games, at worst. At worst.
That's what I thought it was like.
4. I'm thinking because they apparently they changed it to like 20% of the season, right? This is what I was told.
Right. No, I'm just shocked.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a couple of games.
Yeah, I thought it was a couple games, right? Now, absolutely didn't want it to happen, right? Absolutely, right? Emotions kicked in, right? So I'm like, man, I do the 4, cool, but now I'm not practicing with my group, right? I had to go do the little online. If you get thrown out, you got to do an online course, right?
Didn't know that.
You got to do an online course. Did that. Then you got to have a Zoom with all the powers to be, the VHSL folks and our admin team, our principal downtown, like our district wide AD, right? Again, like it's what it is. Cool. Again, I hold my kids accountable for everything they do. So I stood on that. I don't need nobody appealing. Like, let the process happen the way the process is going to happen, right? Your actions causes daggone consequences, right? So that's where I stood on that. But again, I didn't think it was going to end up being 9 games until the Zoom. We're in the Zoom, and I could hear their tone towards me. And again, I'm apologetic about this thing. Like yo, I never had this official in my life. I never met this official. Haven't seen him since, really.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, which is what it is. But and to make the story wrap up on that, the Zoom, they asked me the questions, and apparently they didn't feel, I think they wanted to suspend me for the entire year. Right, and I think they thought they was doing me giving me a pass by giving me just the rest of the regular season, which ended up being 9 games. Well, we only get 22 regular season games,
right?
So that's essentially half the season. I'm not coaching my basketball team, right? So, and again, shout out to G-Jack, who did a great job in my place, and all the other coaches that stepped up, and the players, the leaders, right? But what happened was,
Damn.
yeah, no. So when I eventually got back for the playoffs, I didn't come back to the playoffs.
Yep, I remember that.
It wasn't my team. Wasn't my team. So much had happened in between. Like
The moment everything is
everything. The selfishness was at an all-time high. Not really the players, but it was like parents got it really distorted my group. And I remember saying it. I remember coming home. I remember even just I'm like, this isn't my group. Now how can I'm not telling them that, but I know.
But you know, right?
I know. And
It wasn't the same how you left it.
It wasn't the same how I left, and how it was supposed to go, because in those games, like, think about this. So this is where I talking to Coach, hear you talking to Coach Criv and Morrisette football, right? So these are facts. We had won 50 straight games versus 7-5-7 teams.
Wow.
So we're gonna talk. We had won 50.
Yeah, let's talk it.
Versus 7-5-7 teams. No. You go when you get off. You could go back.
I'm like, that's a lot of.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's
We had won 44 straight home games.
And there's a lot of teams.
So watch this. No, we just talked about before we got on air. Talked about playing Maury. And we played
right
in all the events now. And we had won 34, 35 Southeastern District games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
All went to smoke when I wasn't there. We lose the Oscar Smith on the buzzer beater at Smith. That's the SCD game.
Yep.
And we lose to Hampton by 1 at our showcase.
Yep.
All went away during that time. So now our kids who know that they don't have me there to be there, right? So again, not knocking Hampton, not knocking Smith. Would have been tough games no matter what. No matter what, right? But that's the beauty of it. Like where we got to, the culture that we are at Kings Fort. I'm like, man, it took a hit. It definitely took a hit. And and I take the blame. I take the blame.
Man, that was when I came to the game 2022. I want to say Maury went to the state championship that year in the spring.
Yep, they did.
I was at that game.
Yeah.
It's a showcase.
Yeah, it was the battle lines. Battle lines. Yep.
Because it was because I think Woodside was playing. I think that was Steph's first year.
Yeah. No, it was. We always that battle lines event is a big event that I run. That's kind of been my baby for the last 7 years.
Great event, man.
Yeah, we try, and one of the things why I do it is like, hey, listen, we try to have great matchups, but again, Kings Fork has a principal AD. They allow that, right? They allow great basketball. Suffolk loves great basketball.
They love it.
Love great basketball. So it's always been great crowds in that. And so, we had the facility, and we got the new scores table to make it look crazy. Got the clock with the numbers on it.
Yeah, y'all can hold it.
We can hold it.
Huge.
Yep. So it's every year, people trying to get in it. I got to turn people away because you only could get X amount of games. And then, but as fate would have it, Maury had a game. We didn't come up with that game until like 10 days prior to the game. Maury had a game. We had a game.
The night before.
Yeah, and so we both played the night before, but
right.
just to even that matchup itself. Look, Brandon calls me and says, "Hey, Coach, man."
Shout out to Coach.
Yeah,
Brandon,
man. Shout out to B Plumber, man. For real, good dude. He says, and real one, I
like him. I really like him.
With the smoke too. He said, "Yo, what's up with the game? Let's play." All right, where you want to play at? We play over there.
That's why I like him.
No, I'm like,
he don't be ducking no smoke
at all. No. Again, I got the battle lines. Like, yeah, let's do it in battle lines.
Mm-hmm.
And man, they came, and again, I tell people like Kings Fork different. You And the kids are different when they and when they comfortable. It's like HBCU. We was talking about this off air. Like it's like the crowd, the sheriffs let you get down a little bit. It get rowdy, and you know
It does.
And you know we got after them. You know, and I know. You know, they got a little bit of payback this year, but I know they remember that one.
Yeah, man. I was there for that one. It was ugly.
No, we got after them.
It was ugly. And it was like, but you could tell that they had played.
No, 100%.
It was like they had no legs.
Not just because we played too.
But both of y'all played.
But not it's who they played that we thought was going to
played Northview, right?
Northview, and that
Double overtime or something like that.
We knew once we seen that. Right.
They had no legs because when I watched them,
we wasn't 30 points better than them. At all.
When the Highland Springs interview was here, the basketball championship year when they beat Maury, and Coach Tennyson sat right here, and I said I picked Maury to beat Highland Springs. I said because he said, but you just saw they lost to Kings Fork. I said, listen to me. Kings Fork is not 30 points better than them.
At all. No.
I watched them, and I'm going to tell you, and you can test because you knew I was there.
Yep.
I watched them doing warm-ups.
Yeah.
They extended the warm-up period because they looked like they had just got out the damn bed.
No, and we knew that. And
I said, they're going to get their ass whooped tonight.
So you're, and again.
That was a couple months before I first started this podcast.
No, and when taking notice in pregame is something that I do. Like I
said, they done.
Yeah, and so I'm like, look, we're gonna get the pace up, right? First of all, shout out to A Newton. Lil A is tough. Lil A is tough as they come. I just told him this when I seen him at Boo last weekend. Like, yo, my guy, and he was a freshman. Like he was young, a freshman or sophomore at the time.
Yeah, he was a young kid.
Yeah, he was a young kid, but I'm like, he has it, right? And you know, I'm looking at our young point guard right now to kind of mirror the same trajectory that Lil A, has. You know, he's on that Boo EYBL team. So Lil Mel, you gonna get a rematch with him, I'm guessing.
Shout out to him.
No. And once it got to a certain point, I'm like, it just they tired. They tired. Not just physically though. They were emotionally.
They were spent.
They were emotionally spent, and I knew that. That's why I ain't put a lot of stock in the final score. I'm like, because the final score with the final score, we wasn't 30 points better than them.
No.
But ultimately, like that actually, I know more motivation every time. Now we went in the 5, they couldn't wait. Like, yeah, we waiting on you, Kings Fork. But again, that whole 5B is smoke.
It is, man. That's why I was like, that's why I understand when y'all smoke Green Run. I'd be like, that should be ass. And shout out, to the Green Run, but
shout out, K.
They can't. But no, man, y'all put on a show that night.
Yeah.
And Kings Fork is like the furthest school I've ever went to.
Yeah.
I'm not going down 64 again coming that way. I'm
going
460.
Gotta take 460.
Because Lord have mercy, it seemed like it was forever.
Yeah, 64 you take the long scenic route.
I said, man, am I gonna ever get here?
No, I know.
And then I seen all these police.
Oh no, they deep. They deep.
They looking at me, I'm checking, I'm like, okay, I sit down and you come up with this thing. I got to bring, you know what I'm saying?
Growing. Suffolk is it's a lot of talent in Suffolk. A lot of talent. Not just at Kings Fork. Like Nansman got talent.
Nansman, right.
Lakeland got talent.
Lakeland, like I said, it's I just love the whole beach 757 Chesapeake. I just love that whole.
It's a variety, and again, I'm one of the few that's been able to be in both, like be in competitive situations in both the 804 and the 757.
Right, you have those times.
Yeah, so I know whenever we come up here, I know what type of time it is. And whenever teams come down there, I'm like, I know what type of time it is. And you lying if you don't think it go both ways.
It does.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, pass me that container. Yeah, because I'm going to give me something here. Because what we want to talk about,
let's get to
that.
Yeah, let's get
because we need to hit on that. Since you said that, what is your relationship with your brothers at Verano?
So, and that's what they are. They my brothers.
Thank you.
They my brothers. I talk to them, if not more than my own blood brothers.
And when we're speaking of Verano, we're speaking of the great Coach Boone.
Yeah, Coach Boone.
I know how I love Boone.
Yeah, Boone is one of the most solid dudes in sports, in life.
I love Boone.
So Boone, Nard, that entire staff though.
18, Twitty,
that
Petty
entire
Ford,
staff.
the whole staff, Chris, everything.
All of them. Just talked to Chris the other day. So right, so
They for real, they like brotherhood.
And they might have told you this, but we planned this years ago.
They talk about talks about all the time.
We planned this like when we first met. Again, we didn't grow up together.
Right.
But the way we move today, you would have think we have.
But
right?
but see, I can agree with that. Not to cut you off because
you good.
They brought me in,
Yeah.
and I just interviewed them. And when they say they take you in as a brother, and they defend you.
Listen,
they defend, and that's why I'm just like, these guys are truly brothers, man.
For sure. Pooh, man, come on, man.
Everybody, man.
Come on, man. Family. It's like real family. And that's, I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like it matched, right? Like, it matched. Our families matched, our kids, our goals aligned. And so, I got the best KJ story. Right?
Give it to me.
Man, because when I first meet him, third grade, our kids were in third grade at the same time. Mm-hmm. And my son was like, man, you know, he was going to go play basketball because he got big and he didn't want to wear the little stripe on his helmet for football. He's like, I'm going to try this basketball thing. So, hey, Ty, got loaded. Mine trying to play. Yeah, well, hey, listen, we got practice at John Marshall High. Red and Corey was the coaches.
Shout out to Little Red.
Yeah, Big Red and Little Red too.
Little Red, shout
out to Corey too. But so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take him up to John Marshall. They're in third grade. This bunch of kids, like they running around, and little third graders all over the place. This how far we go back, third grade. So I'm standing off the side. They know who I am because I'm coaching Petersburg at the time, right? And but I don't know everybody else. Obviously, I know Ty, right? I know Black. I know, you know what I mean? I know, but
shout out to Black.
What's up, Black? So
you gotta call me, Black. They talk to you in a minute.
So I'm just watching, right? I'm just like, I'm a dad. So they're doing the old school 3-on-2, 2-on-1 drill. I'm standing right near the baseline of one of the side baskets. This little dude is getting back on defense against a 2-on-1, just try to stop the 2-on-1. He takes a charge. Might have been a homicide or something, because it was like he got hit so hard that he slid, like he was on the ground, like sliding across the ground into the bleachers, slid into the bleachers, so his head hits the bleachers. And I'm like, I'm like about to run over towards him.
Damn.
He jumps up. And I'm like, who's his dad? Who's his parents? Because this little dude is tough as shit. I'm like, they're like, your dad over there. Yo, that dude, he got it. He like, yo, he knew who I was. Like, yo, I was at the Petersburg game. He was at one of my games. He was in the stands. He was like, yeah, man, front row, because I used to always go front row. Matter of fact, you were the dude talking crazy to my guys.
Yeah, that's
right?
Nard.
Right, so it's definitely Nard. So Nard was like, yeah, man, KJ is tough. And every game, we was always beside each other. Let me tell you how far they come, though.
Okay.
Right. So the first one of the tournaments, Red, and I'm gonna tell you this: we're playing a team out of Maryland Finest, I believe.
Yep.
We lost 48-2. Yeah, no. Watch this, because this is KJ made one free throw, Ryan made one free throw. That was the score, 48-2. So they 48-2. I'm like, okay. So. As fate would have it, some like Corey and Red was doing a lot. They do a lot anyway. So like somewhere along the lines, like Nard had we're up in Maryland for a tournament. This is again where we could, and Boom will come into this in a second. So We're in Maryland, and Corey and Red is like stuck in traffic. We got to play the game. Nara like, yo, you want to coach? I'm like, nah, I do the book. You coach. This is a true story. Nara coaching, I'm doing the book. They're playing. Hooping. Red and Corey come in, take over. But that was like the first little thing, like, yo. So I'm telling Nara, look, this is what you gotta do to stay in the coaching, right? And Nara, like, Nara with it, right? For real, right? And so, but I'm like, yo, you got something, like, cause my son gravitated to him, and his son gravitated to me.
Yep.
Right. So I was always like, come here, man, like, Dad, get on him. I'm like, I got you, my dude. And I feel that way to this day. I'm gonna be that way for him this whole life, and mine the same way toward my kids and their kids. But so long story long, the very next year. So think about this. Little Chance Mallory was on that team too.
Yeah, we were
Shout out to Chance. Shout out to Chance. Yeah, for sure. And his fam too. The Mallory's good peoples too, for sure. But there was a lot of talent on that group. End up to be real talent. So fast forward, Nara was like, yo, we're gonna take the team, we're gonna take them as fourth graders. I'm like, yo, I just be your assistant. I already coach high school. I'll be your assistant. And it's good for you. And it started to climb. The next year, boom, come in the picture. Like, yo, this is like the three horsemen of coaching. We really making it happen. And then we go on to win national championships and won the national. The same teams that beat us 48-2, we got the gold trophy. Only other Boo Williams national championship was Iverson and Derek Bryan and the group. But I got the trophy in my office. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that trophy. I seen that.
Yep. No, so I mean, like, and KJ had like, shoot, we talked about this for years, and people don't know if when Lacey left, if Lacey would have still been at Verona, no disrespect to Lacey, like Boom and them really thought about coming to Kings Fork with me.
I heard about that.
Yeah, no, like that was the plan. Like, yo, get y'all down and be the Kings Fork. Like, and then Lacey moved on, and I'm like, boom, you gotta apply. You gotta apply for the job. Here's a recommendation letter. This is what you need to do. And then you put your twist to it, and the rest is history. And Boom is more than qualified to coach anybody. All of them, for sure.
Man.
And then, as fate would have it, we end up being in 4A together. I mean, class 4.
Man.
Where we were sick.
Now, that goes into what I won't go into, right? Because you brought it all up. And thank you for doing that. Save me the trouble and my voice.
Yeah.
Leads us to 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y'all were the top seed. Well, was it y'all the top
We
seed?
were undefeated. We were
undefeated. Talk about this.
We 24-0.
Y'all.
We number one seed.
Yep.
We number one team in the state, right? Mm-hmm. They told us we will have to come up here.
Explain that one.
Right. So they told us that, right? That's the first one, because it's two happened twice.
Right.
So cool. All right. Our thought process was like, we're going to have to play each other eventually.
Right.
But the way they had it set up was the quarters, right? The semis, right?
Like, that should have been state championship.
It never happened where the state semifinals is at somebody's gym.
That never happened.
Mind you, I was in the 804, right? I'm like, again, me and Boom, I tell the same story all the time. Verona could have beat Kings Fork anywhere. Kings Fork could have beat Verona anywhere. The problem is we don't need for it to be at Verona at this stage.
No.
Right? At this stage.
No.
So we already were losing in our mind. But not me. I'm like, yo, we got to go up there. This is what we need to do to win, right? That's what I was thinking. But the second we get there, so we both mind games, right? So they know how I think. They know exactly what I'm telling my kids. I know exactly what they're telling their kids, right? Exactly. So it wasn't going to be no secret. Shit, we run some of the same stuff. We got the same calls.
Y'all was
Right? No, so prior to this, when we were still 4 and they were 5, me and Boom in the bubble, in the EYBL bubble that they had, and all we did was talk basketball. Like, yo, I'm like, oh, it's about to, and then we go, then they come down to 4. Excuse me. So they come down to 4. This is good. I gotta take this.
No, you good, man. Yes.
So
think I'm getting my mojo back.
So so I'm like, man, all we did was just talk hoops and how you gonna get there? They could win 5, we could win 4, but now we end up having to play each other. But so it was gonna be no secrets. My biggest concern was the officials.
Yes,
as it should be, right? Because it's like people be trying to like dance around this shit. Like no. Officials, I'm an 84. I know how it works, right? So now I'm like, we get there, they check us out. We go into our dickies and stuff.
Yeah, y'all came with the black dickies. You know, I got that right here.
So let me. It's a story behind that.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the story though, right? So back at that bubble, we're going to get COVID tested. Mm-hmm. One of the players, AJ says, we see a kid in all black forces. He like, yo, that kid dangerous. So at that moment, I'm like, yo, we're gonna wear black forces for the year, right? Whenever you get back to Kings, we're gonna wear black forces, right? Yeah. So Boom was like, man, you're not gonna wear black. I said, we're gonna wear black forces. Sure enough, that was our thing, wearing black forces, right? And so I said, nah, just for the Veronica. It's the crazy thing is, whether it was Verona or not, the semis we was gonna wear the dick
anyway.
Anyway, so it was already we had already bought them. I said, oh, the only people that really would appreciate it would be Boom, Nart and them because they know how we think,
right? And
they were like, oh yeah, we got him. They like, and I'm like, oh man. But then I look over, I see the governor over there. I'm like, next to the
who was it? Was it Youngkin?
Youngkin.
Yep. Youngkin was
just got there.
Yep. Because he's a 757 guy.
Man, I see him sitting over there.
Shout out to the Gov, man.
Yeah, like the Gov. Yeah, shout out to the Gov, right? And the basketball dude, like
he basketball. He's been on my show as well.
Basketball. So I'm like, yeah, this is a big game here,
right?
This is a Duke, North Carolina type of game.
It was a fight.
That was it was, and it was it was even except for the second quarter. They get out on us in the second. If you go back to all the other 3 quarters, it was the second quarter where they got on the run. Open. But I think the biggest play was foul trouble to Caleb Brown because I thought Ryan did a great job on fast because I'm like, listen, I'm gonna put my dog on fast, but I'm gonna have to have Caleb on KJ, and then Christian go crazy.
Yeah, I was ready to say that. Christian won that game.
Christian go
crazy. Christian went crazy. And you got to pick your poison.
Again, Christian played for me. He was another one. Miles, they played. I coached all them kids. Mm-hmm. Steve, all those kids, I've coached. So I'm like, I can't. It was a hard place to be because I have genuine love for those kids and for their families, and to watch how they stepped up because they know how I think. Mm-hmm. They know what I'm telling my players. They know that they was going to have to bring it.
Yep,
and they did, and you know I was sad for my guys, still sad for my guys, right? But again, I was happy for Nard and them. I was happy for Boom, the staff, and for the players. You know what I mean? It was unfortunate that the game had to be there, right?
And I felt like, as much as I love that game to be in Verona, I would have loved to be in the neutral site.
No, it should have been.
And, you know, everybody know my motto, in Coach Boom, I trust.
Yeah.
But I felt so bad for you, man, because I'm like, here you are on the cusp again.
Yeah, no, 24-0, right there again. You know.
And I'm like,
After we got off the deck, like when people don't know this, like Epps almost came back. Like Epps wanted to come back, but I didn't. Epps, he'll tell you this. Like he did not want to leave. People think about this. His junior year, we didn't have a season.
Right.
He stayed. He could have went anywhere.
He sure could have.
So that tells you where his thought process was. The reason he ended up really leaving is because Suffolk closed down out of season workouts. We didn't know if we was even going to play the following year or how many games.
That's true.
I said, my dude.
Had he been there,
No.
it's a different conversation.
Hey, boom. Hey,
Boom?
Yeah, boom.
And it was funny because
But
because Boom talked about that when I interviewed them the first time. He talked about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, like everything happened the way it was really supposed to. Because I told Epps, listen, man, I can't live with you giving up another year what you're trying to get out of basketball. You got to go. And then even that fall, he came back. We're in my office. He's like, man, I'm trying to come back. I'm like, nah, you got to stay, man. You got to stay. Now again, that's the best player in the state. Like, but I in my mind, I'm doing what's right by the kid, not trying to be all self-serving.
Right, because you could have been selfish.
Yeah, I could have easily.
Easy.
So he, he went back down the combine and finished out the combine, and we ended up being 24-1 and booming them get their title. You know what I mean? But
and I tell people, if that game had been in Kings Fort,
no, we probably it could have got bad.
Atmosphere played.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And they know I love my guys, but had that game in that Kings Fort, the crowd difference, because I think when Christian opened it up in them corner threes,
the threes, yeah, they 3-point,
and then KJ and Fats had to hit a three from deep.
Yeah. So our guys, we missed easy ones too.
Right.
Buckets that we know, because if you go back, like we was rolling early.
Yeah.
Ryan hit the three. Ryan we got the oop.
Yeah.
Got the oop layup. They hit the corner three. George made a tough bucket.
Yeah.
But so we're going back and forth like, all right, we in the game. And then like I said, the foul and then the rotations change. And so then I'm like, man, we turned it over bucket. And then that crowd going crazy. I look up, they had the little that.
Yep, it was on.
Yeah, but again, like I feel like the cultural impact of Kings Fort make people go there.
I agree with you.
And people can't, and I don't let nobody deny us of that. Like again, it's only gonna be one winner at every six class. But like the impact Kings Fort has on basketball and sports really, because I remember we came out with one year with the names on the uniforms. I remember we came out with the sleeves, the sleeves on the jerseys. I remember we did the little pose before so I watch a lot of people do those different things. So I'm like, man, we impacting the game, you know what I mean? But it just Rana.
Yeah, and that's why.
And the second year was worse though.
Right. Oh, see, that's why I said we gotta, and that's the thing, because that game, and I talked to Nard them, and I was like, man, that game was epic. I didn't expect the score to be the way it was, but again, crowd played into that. If that game had been at Kings Fort,
it was supposed to.
And that's what I'm saying. Tell it.
That's the thing. And so Verona got a little dose of it this year, having to go down
to Hampton.
Yeah. So, but
I talked about that.
Yeah. So we were told that's one of our first things. So again, all this stuff comes back to when I got suspended too. When we tied that in a quick second. So we were asked like, "Yo, okay. So we run the table. They run the table. We asked this before playoffs even started. What's the situation? When we're talking about we asked the VHSL, right? They're like, hey, listen, no. They will have to come down. Whoever wins up there will have to come down. Verona wasn't even the 1 seed.
Eastview was.
So we're like, oh, so if we're still winning, we were told if we're still winning, it's still in it, that they will have to come out because it's already preset. They got to come down.
That's what I thought.
So the week leading up to Verona going, Verona run. The week leading up, they like, nah, we're going to have to go up there.
Because the football team had already came up here. So I thought it was a rotating thing.
It's always been rotating.
Right.
It's always been rotating.
Right.
So now they're like, yeah, it's on a 2-year window. No, it was that way 2 years ago.
Right.
So come on, you making up stuff, right? So that was our take, right? So I kind of was like, F it, man. Like our powers to be really had a problem with it for sure, right?
I'm sure I would have had a problem.
No, really had a problem, right? Rightfully so. And so like, no, but it's going to be at a neutral site. Right? I said, what's the neutral site? They said, Highland Springs. I'm like, Harry Lee. I'm like, man, listen, man, that's not a neutral site.
That's a home
What's
game.
up, Harry Lee? My guy, too.
That's around the corner.
Yeah, I said, listen. Not a neutral site, right? Not a neutral site. I said, not neutral because it's going to be the same officiating crews that used to the kid. So I know we're making a big stink about it, and I think I feel like that just ultimately like really made the game an ugly game because of us complaining beforehand. Right?
It was in the 20s,
yeah,
man.
Listen. It was an ugly masterpiece. He was an ugly masterpiece.
He finally got it.
Yeah, it was an ugly masterpiece, and we get up. Again, a couple things happened in that game. We did everything. With no secrets. I knew
KJ
they were
completely out the game.
We knew we was gonna make it a physical game for him, right? Ryan gets hurt. He gets poked in the eye early. Now he's our heart. He's our heart guy.
Mm-hmm.
Never recovered from the eye thing. More importantly, the guys seeing him the way he was really messed them up a little bit, right? But no matter what, KJ did a great job on Sam though. While KJ wasn't scoring, he did a great job on our top scorer.
Yeah,
right?
he did.
Yeah, but that goes back years. So when we used to play, like that's always been a competitive thing between those two kids anyway. So always. But so we get up, we get a little run. Conway go crazy. Bank shot three. I'm like, yo, don't let him go left. Like we talked about it, and so
that was the weirdest sequence.
Yo, the whole
what was that? Let him in 30 seconds.
30 seconds just to start firing it, right? But it was another little play within there that people don't talk about enough, but only we know, right? Nardum know because of what Ryan means to our group. He hits his head. He's a concussed. So the last minute 30. He's not even on the floor. He's 4-year starter. Not on the floor. Oh, man. We could put him here. He know how to help. Because if you go, because I think he had like 7 blocks in that game.
He sure did.
Right? So I'm like, so just that piece alone left a window for him. Right? This is what great teams do. This is what never underestimate the heart of a champion really is. We left enough of the window open for them, for Conway to go off, and for them to make a shot. Miles make a pass and get an and one, and
I was like, because I was tweeting,
boom.
Because I was tweeting, okay, Kings got this one.
We got it.
I like this game over with. It's done.
And KJ picked up his 4th.
He sure did. I was like, I'm in the 757 group. I even went live. Like, yo, Hite got it.
Yeah.
It's revenge. I'm already typing this shit. And the weirdest shit happened.
Man, we let him go left. He banks the first one.
Right.
Banks the first. I'm like, and then it's like, all right, stay composed, right? Stay composed. That just get them to stay composed. Like this is what champions do. They going their last little stand, the haymaker they throw, all you gotta do is brace forward to take it. You can't let it hit you cleanly.
No.
And it hit us cleanly.
Oh my God.
And it hit us cleanly. And because when you go back and look, we start missing free throws. And then
part right there.
We start missing free throws.
I said Petersburg all over again.
Start missing free, and then we missed a bunny of all. But Caleb gets the basket, had an opportunity to get a layup because we was only one more bucket really away from making them say, "Dang,
that's it."
That's it. We're one more bucket away from them. Like that was a good run. We got ours. Now they could go try to get theirs because essentially we all knew. No disrespect to the championship game, but. The championship game with the semifinals.
Was that game?
Both
years.
Whoever won the semis was going to win the state.
Both years.
Yeah, so Yep. Yeah, and then we had to take it. You know what I mean? But again, like,
how did that make you feel? Because first of all, and I want to apologize to you because I came down to the court
yeah.
and you didn't have to talk to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And you talked to me.
No doubt. No doubt.
And I should have respected the process
You're doing your job. That's
of your mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, I apologize to you but you was so respectful.
No, yeah.
And I told Nod, I said, man, you know why I kept calling him and calling him? Because he could have been an asshole.
No, yeah, but it's bigger than basketball.
But
Bigger than basketball.
yes, but we can talk about criticizing the coaching, but the way you handle that, and I'm so appreciative of that. Because I was like, this nigga gonna tell me, fuck you.
No.
Because
Yeah.
it's not because you lost,
Yeah.
it's how you lost.
No, for sure.
And I said, he can't catch a goddamn
No, and again, I just like when you go through so much in life, like just real life stuff, right? I've seen a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have seen. I've been around a lot of stuff that I damn sure know I shouldn't have been around, right? So like it's just the perspective of everything, right? Like and I've gained so much perspective in sports, right? Because sports ultimately saved me, right? So if I don't always put that first, then I'm defeating the purpose, right? Yeah, I know what the score read, right? I knew instantly the mistakes I've made because I the one thing I can do in the game is like slow it down like it's film. I don't even know how I have this, right? It's like a matrix thing that I can, as the game is going live, it's almost like playback. I'm watching. I watch so much film, so I knew, like I know when as a coach, like I know, and I'm like, and I know it when I'm walking to the locker room, even when we win. I'm like, man, damn, that's like, yo, you knew not to do this, but you did it anyway, right? And so the perspective I've had is a lot different than most, right? And so again, while I'm super competitive and I'm really trying to win everything, but I do keep stuff in perspective because again, like I got a lot of friends that ain't here. Right, I got a lot of loved ones that's not here that helped me get to this point, and so I never lose sight of that. So,
no, and like I said, it was already projected for me that y'all was going to win the state championship that year, because that Verona team the year before, and your team, I was like,
we're the better team.
Y'all were the better team.
We're the better team.
No disrespect around, but they know this. And I'm not talking to the coaches. I'm speaking to the fans who may or may not know.
Yeah, we're the better team.
And I was like, they lost a lot.
Yeah.
They're going to win this thing. And I said, it's a trade-off.
No, it's a trade. It's a trade.
It's a trade-off. And just because of what you've been through in your coaching experience, I was like, he finally going to get
Yeah. No, people pull for that.
And I was like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, he got to be the sickest man now in America. So I knew that once I talked to you and I called Nod, I said, and I think I called you maybe a week or two afterwards. And you was like, no, I got you. I'm going to call you. And I never heard from you no more. And I told Nod, I said, Nod, because he your guy.
Yeah.
And I know when y'all tell me something, no, he going to get you straight.
For sure,
and even Boom told me.
Yeah.
I said, I got to let him sit from his one.
No.
Because when I interviewed Jason Williford here,
Yeah.
and when Jason them lost to UMBC,
He
didn't want to talk to nobody.
No, yeah.
So I had to put my coaching hat back on.
No, but I appreciate you though, cause
no, you a real one, man. Because I have to say that because you could have been an asshole.
No, I appreciate what you do. Like you move the culture. You move the culture, and I'm for the culture. Like again, I want to win, but I want to be around people and do my part to move the culture. And I wish we would have done it earlier, to be honest, right? Because
I was coming down, because I told Tim, I said, we're coming to King's Fork, and I want to do it in the gym.
No.
And that was the plan.
And you're always welcome to come down. Always welcome to come down.
I appreciate that.
When I seen you at Boo, I'm at the stand. I tell the dad right beside
you and man.
Yeah, I said, I gotta get with him. I said, I gotta get with him. Right, and it was like because I had forgotten a little bit. Like I had forgotten until I saw you. I'm like, that's why I came down. Like, yo, I got you.
You lit up because I was like, I turned around. I was talking to Coach Shonda Bailey.
Yeah.
And I shout out to Shonda.
Yeah,
and I was like, And I saw Manny talking to her. Manny got excited. And I was like, oh, shit. I said, man, I'm a boy.
No. And I was equally excited.
And the first thing you said, I owe you.
I owe you. Because again, you move the culture. You know what I mean? And whatever impact I have, I want to share. And I think, that probably this ain't even enough time. You know what I mean?
No, man.
No, but it's just what it is.
So no, we here, but again, like I said, I appreciate though, because I know I'm gonna end up going over on time. Tell them I got you.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of get to that point. Your season ended again, and now you have to concentrate on your kids.
Yeah, for sure.
And your son, congratulating him, committing to Hampton.
Yep.
But explain how that process was. Because like I said, we got about 20 minutes I can play with.
Okay.
10 minutes to play with.
I got you, and I'll be a little fast. But like the hardest thing is coaching your kid, right? Like, and I've coached my kid. People think it's easy. People think it's you get little advantages. It was hard. He went through a lot. I asked my son. Shout out Ryan, love you, bro. Right, like to do stuff that really didn't benefit who he was as a player and what he can do. Like, people don't know, like, he really got a lot to his stuff, like his game. But he's just a tough kid. So we really relied on his toughness because we had scorers. We always had guys that always was wired to score.
Okay.
Epps, G. Bill, Sam.
Hell of a player.
So they teaming back up at Hampton.
That's right, yeah.
So he going to Hampton. So they kind of calling themselves like the little Villanova boys.
What's up? Yeah.
So they
I like G, man.
Yeah. So he him and Ryan, they'll be living together and all that stuff. So
that'll be great. The son here, man.
And he home and get to watch his sister. Her last, cause she the most competitive.
Man, I did not know that was your daughter.
She is the most competitive kid I've ever been around.
Because I asked Manny, I said, Manny, who was number 3?
That's her, Riley Hite. I call her Kate. Yep.
And I was like, because I was up there where you was at.
Yeah.
Shonda was texting me, was like, where you at? Yeah. So I came there because they had just lost to Seinfeld at 17.
Yeah.
17, so I came down and I said, let me come down over here. And then my iPad started acting up and I said, just bump it.
Yeah. No,
and I was like, because I saw her the day before.
Yeah.
And I said, man, number 3 is balling.
Yeah, she got her offers. Her offers been rolling in since. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think she played that good. She didn't play up to her potential. And my knowing her, and she'll be the first to tell you that.
Man.
But I think she now she's settled down because Pittsburgh before the first session she was killing. She shot the ball the way she could shoot because she didn't shoot the ball worth nothing.
And you got to think about it too, Coach. They hadn't had any scrimmage.
No, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's not typical of a boo.
Yeah, for sure.
So then you, like I said, you got Asia.
Yeah.
Shout out to Asia.
Yeah, shout out Asia.
Monty.
Yep.
Your daughter, Big Ari.
Yeah, no, they got a group.
Man, y'all got a nice group. And I was like, when they put it together, and I love Coach Webb.
Yeah, and so it's like it's setting up to be a really good summer.
It is.
Setting up to be a really good summer.
So how's the recruitment going for her?
Yeah, like I said, right after that, she been getting her first couple offers, and then after that, it's just been going every day. So that's my daughter. Like, she is me all over again. She gonna keep stuff in perspective. She loves competition. She will lead the girls' practice because we would practice after the girls. So varsity girls would go. She'll be right at my practice. Mm-hmm. This every day. So she has a chance.
Man, and how does it feel for you and your wife, man, to not have to pay a college bill?
No, it's just like it just, at the end of the day, all you want is for your kids to be in a good situation, right? Whether you have to pay or not, you want them to get that part of life that ultimately will change their life. And so, we're fortunate. And shout out to my wife because again, I can't coach if she's not supportive, right? And she's there. She does her part. She knows the game. She's been around it. She was a woo woo, so she's been around sports. But she makes it go for real.
Man, shout out to your wife,
shout out
man.
Shakira,
what I'm saying? But like I said, I just had to get that in there, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, I didn't even think about it. I was like, they got a hella squad.
No, they tough. They tough.
I was like, damn, y'all squad is good. And I was like, and I told Manny, I said, Manny, give it a little to that.
Yeah, no, man.
And it wasn't like he was saying negative.
Yeah,
but I was just like,
competitive.
I said, because he's a competitive coach.
Dude,
I said,
for sure.
He said, no. He said, I think we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
He said we can time, but I did not know that was your daughter. I said she came in. I said, man, who was that? 3.
Yeah. No, she, she about to hit her little growth spurt or whatever. Because she's 15 now, so it's going. It's that little window.
Man,
Yeah.
Because y'all going to 5. Well, y'all in 5 now.
Yeah, 5 now. Yeah.
How was the transition to now you're in Division 5?
So the only thing is we've been playing those teams all along. We've been playing the Mansfield, Norviews, Morris already. So now it's just a little more different where only 2 can make it to states. So
now be more, right?
Yeah. So Maury, that when you get to all season long, it's only going to come down to the Final Four. That's what's going to happen. Every team know it. Like you want to put yourself in position. You're going to have to go through Woodside eventually, and Steph is my guy, so we talk about this too. So you're going to have to go through Woodside. You're going to have to play Memorial, Norview, or Kingsford. But the Bethels and Nansemond Rivers, like these
getting
teams,
better.
Man, for sure. Kick it, man.
And I know for you, I can't wait to I just want to see you get that ring.
Yeah. So we got the one I don't even take. So the EPS year, the one that the COVID year, like I don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. Everybody, but like I'm.
It's like
we would have beat Wilson.
Yeah, I believe it.
No. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Prescott and all of them. Right. Congratulations, Prescott.
Shout out to y'all. But I'm rolling with y'all on that one.
And so they followed like the old BCS format. Like we won. We just beat you, right? We felt like we'd have won the game, and I felt like we didn't even have to go into the stuff that we would have won. We had to, that we would have went to if we need to. But with that being said, life changed with COVID, right? So at that point, I don't even like winning the championship. Didn't even like they gave us the rings, they gave us jackets, they gave us the acknowledgement. But I'm like, man, listen, I got to get the Dawn Staley confetti. For me, you know what I mean?
Man, yes.
So,
yes. And right now, Steph's team
he's sitting. He remembers what I said to him when he was coming along in this, right? I'll let Steph tell you what I said to him when he was coming along, right? And I love Steph too, right? Steph is my guy because
shout out to Steph.
Yeah, shout out to Steph and shout out to because Steph people look at Steph crazy, right?
He does and say some things, and we don't know each other.
Yeah.
But we had a moment.
Yeah.
But recently, like we were talking.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it to each other, but we knew.
Yeah.
Because he came over to the 17s with the girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I respect him.
Yeah.
I don't know him. He don't know me. But we had a moment off, but it ain't like we got a beef.
No. But I can see it though.
Because he can kind of take him the wrong way.
No, because again, a lot like me, people when they see me coach, automatically think that's how I am. Like my everyday is nothing like how I coach. Like nothing like how I coach. Now I'm with the shits if it need to be, but I'm a family man. I'm trying to do some stuff outside of just basketball. But basketball saved me. So I'm gonna be competitive because I'm a competitive player. But people form this opinion. So Steph gets a lot of that too. He get a lot of that. So but if you talk this stuff like Steph talk, he makes sense. A lot of stuff he talk about makes sense. But again, he has to be who he is. That's why he's able to be a college player.
It benefits him.
Yeah, it benefits him 100%. And his kids gravitate to him. So
he does. He gets the most. He's not gonna give you the X's and the. He's an X. He played the game.
Yeah, no, for sure. He played the game.
In all levels.
Yeah, no. I mean, so many guys get so much bad raps, but like Tyler get a bad rap too.
Right.
Get a bad rap.
But I appreciate him because he gets the most out of his kids.
No, 100%.
And I love the energy that he does. So like I said, I don't hate him.
No. But no. So I say this. You don't like everybody don't have to be for everybody, right?
Right.
So whatever situation that may fit that situation, cool. All right, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it fits him. It ain't just ain't for me.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's
I
right,
told him,
that's right,
and I would
that's
hope one day
yeah.
I can sit down and
Yeah,
we can have
yeah,
an interview.
yeah. No,
Because I did offer him,
Yeah.
and Steph being Steph, he didn't answer me.
Yeah.
And I was like, you gonna answer me or what?
Yeah, nah, we can set it up though, because he worked, like, again, we talk a lot. I talk to a lot of coaches, like outside. I'm an OG, and I feel like I'm an OG in this thing now, right? So my thing is, I try to get back the game. You know what I mean? And because when I was Steph age or young, like I was wild too, but
Right.
but it was still the perception. But I wasn't as wild as people thought I was.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so. You know,
And that's how I look at it. It's like, it's the immature.
No,
He's young.
you got to go through it. You got to, and when you look back and I go back now. I look at an old YouTube. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah, we're wilding, right?
Wilding out there, man. Yeah. But you know,
But no, Coach, I mean, no, I appreciate that. And I hope that this, like I said, you got a tall task with that team that Steph has.
yeah. No, but you know,
But if anybody can pull it off,
I know.
you can do it.
we thought we was gonna get a matchup. Shout out to Murray, messed that up, but but again, our guys, you know, we'll be different. But we not sleep on us if you want. Sleep on us if you want. Big mistake.
He coming, Steph.
Big mistake. For anybody, like anybody. We don't duck nobody. We don't duck nobody.
No, man, but well, lastly, let me get you up out of here. We talked about the Boo Williams documentary.
Yep.
That you was there for that. You was actually in it.
Yep, sure was.
And it's a great documentary.
Yeah.
It was done by what's my guy name? The photographer. He do his Coach.
Yeah.
White Coach.
Dang, he gonna
Can't you think of dude's name?
Nah, he gonna kill me too.
He gonna kill me too.
kill
But good dude.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's gonna come to me.
Yeah, from the beach guy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was great. And I'm glad that somebody actually did it. It's about time.
Oh,
They did some type of documentary of Boo. Boo getting up there in age. Boo 71 years old.
Man, Boo, man.
Yeah, you know, love Boo.
Marcellus. What's up, Marcellus?
You know, but get you out here on this. We talked about your interest outside of that.
Yeah.
The music part.
Yeah.
The Kendrick Lamar Drake, y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, give me that.
Listen, I stayed up all night last night watching Drake drop.
Give up another one.
Drake dropped Family Matters.
Man,
Listen. How he went in. And 20 minutes later, Kendrick drops Meet the Grams. Took it. Listen, me and hip hop grew up together. Me and hip hop were the same age. It ain't never been like this in hip hop. And there's been some good beefs in hip hop, but this is the most witty, intelligent, social media era. Like these guys,
They need it.
They going in. So both of them stepped up to the plate. Man.
I told my son,
Doc going crazy.
I didn't like what Kendrick just said, because it was like, what was it? He had the Teddy Pendergrass, the slow song.
Yeah.
Then he went into that. I was like, this should be a diss.
Yeah, no. So
I don't know if Drake was baiting him.
no, so this is what it is. That's why it makes this beef, because they both know how each other are. But you also got to think, like, man, he may cross the line, and that's what right now they're crossing the line.
I want that. That's what this is.
Listen, the last two. Listen to these last two.
Okay.
No, you won't listen to these
said,
last.
for real, Dad. I was like, I'm just telling you.
No. Listen to these last two.
Okay.
They both go. They go there.
Okay, because I said the Chris Brown on Quavo. That's how you do it.
No. That make that little JV.
Okay.
They went. So everybody caught strays in that.
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody caught strays. Yeah.
But that's what I need.
Yeah.
But no, man, I really appreciate you coming down, man. Me and my voice and all that stuff. But we got through it.
No doubt.
Any additional shout-outs or the shout-outs you want to give out, man, before you go? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, man. No, first appreciate you. Appreciate Tim making sure this thing worked. You know what I mean? Shout out the Bulldog Nation. You know what I mean? The fork is the fork. And, you know, we represent everywhere we go. So, and again, you know, all my
Definitely gonna
peoples-
be in some games this year.
No, for sure. Always got to. We got a good setup going on.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody in Philly, you know, all my family in Philly, people in the Berg, people in Richmond, people in Suffolk. So, you know, and the whole 7-5, BallinVA.
Man, I appreciate that shout out, man. But yeah, we got another one, You gonna be listening? Dog gonna call me.
Nah, no doubt.
Gonna get halfway through it and gonna call me and give me a story.
My
So shout out
brothers.
to Nod, Boom,
Shout
my
out,
guys
Boom,
over
for
there, my
sure.
brothers.
Congrats,
Appreciate y'all.
KJ, too, for sure. Congrats.
Yeah, definitely KJ, man.
Yeah.
Definitely shout out to him on his offer. I mean, that's offer, his commitment to
Yeah.
Virginia Union.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Lil Red.
Yeah,
You know,
shout out
going to
Red.
JMU, so
Yep.
them you guys. So
Nah, for sure.
appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I'm going to rest this voice. But everybody, like, subscribe, do all of those things, and we are out.
I appreciate y'all watching the episode again today, y'all. You know, go over, make sure that y'all check out my man, Stockel.com for any of your home buying needs. Appreciate it. Thanks again.